even better, so much more confident because of the competition when he went into Cleveland. Because he got to compete every day in order to keep.
Streamline your business with Javis Tax Services Payroll Services. We offer hassle-free payroll and direct deposit services for companies of all sizes. Our experts ensure that every detail is handled from setup to reporting. At Javis Tax Service, our cost-effective payroll solutions allow you to put your focus back on running your company. Call us today for a consultation and learn more about our payroll services. Call Javis Tax Service at 851-7112. That's 851-7112.
Shout out to River Bluff.
She was chill.
What about them Gators?
Oh, I'm gonna see if I can find her.
She was fire.
She was fine.
For real?
Yeah. All right, we'll edit that. Welcome to the Walk Ons radio show number 31. We're gonna have a great show tonight. If Verizon is hearing me right now, there's gonna be a lot of phone calls tonight. So if y'all want to be a sponsor of Verizon, give me a call. We'd love to use it. On the table tonight, we got Wabi.
Glad to be with you, Marcus.
We got Chris.
What up?
We got Opie.
Goku.
And we got Tremaine O'Neal.
What's good?
An hour early tonight.
Oh, and that's
so it's going down.
You know what? I hope you stumble over all your words.
I did forget my chapstick, so it might happen.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Pop, pop.
Yeah, so
if y'all hear a fire start, it's Marcus' lips.
Listen, you see they got them wildfires out there. Marcus
been out there talking.
See, look. You got people in California that eat on my lips and dryness over there.
Listen,
I know a couple of ladies. Oh, I ain't gonna sit on there. What we going to first?
On the show tonight,
moving along.
We're gonna talk about the NBA. The NBA is on tonight. Boston and Cleveland is going on right now as we speak, and followed by Houston and Golden State at 10:30. All those games will be on TNT.
Yes, sir.
So we're gonna talk about the NBA tonight, and then also we're gonna talk to Lancaster's high school head coach, Ricardo Priester. He used to coach Zendaya Stonewall some years ago, so we will talk to him tonight. And also we will talk to Spring Valley's head coach, Coach Bacon. Great matchup coming up on Friday night. We will be there. High school game day will be there on Friday night as Spring Valley will be taking on Dutch Fort.
Game of the year.
Of course. And then who else? Coach Fry will be also calling in at the end of the show. So we're looking forward for a great night tonight. A lot of phone calls, but a lot of conversations, so look forward for that. So let's get straight into Pick 6. The high school game day was at Spirit Communications Park on last Friday.
Shout out to Spirit Communications Park.
River Bluff and Spring Valley was the two teams there representing in the pigskin at the park. Spring Valley was victorious on last Friday over River Bluff 44-20. Great matchup in the beginning, of course, and then got out of hand after that.
Quick.
Spring Valley's winning game was pretty dope. And, of course, that defense and Shane Tindall was also beast mode. So Once again, look forward for a great matchup on this Friday as we go to Dutch Fork High School. That game will be at 7:30 p.m. Our pregame starts at 7 p.m. on our social media, and then the radio broadcast on our Spreaker page will be going on at 7:30 p.m. So make sure you tune in for that. Let your friends know, let your family know, let your people at school know, whoever know, and we look forward for that.
I just checked the Max Preps rankings there, Marcus, and got Dutch Fork at 6-1. It's ranked number 4 in the state. Spring Valley, it's 8-0. It's ranked number 5. So
yep.
I know Dutch Fork's got a loss there.
Yeah,
smidge ahead of them.
Yeah, Dutch Fork, that loss is a pretty good loss.
Well, strength of schedule. Strength of schedule.
Yeah, so it's
which makes sense.
It's going to be a battle to be seen. So make sure you tune in for that on Friday night. Next off, we got our home teams, home college basketball teams at that. Not basketball, football. Carolina defeated Tennessee 15-9, and Clemson. Sorry, Robbie.
Yeah.
They lost.
They lost? Yo, Andrew, AJ, where y'all at?
Yeah.
Somehow we just gloss over Clemson when they win. They lose. It's a big
highlight it.
Everybody want to be excited now because they win.
Oh, yeah.
Well, hopefully they've got one mulligan out of the way like last year when they start off 10-0, and then they lose to Pittsburgh, and then they play their best ball of the year after that. So maybe they'll get refocused.
I think
they definitely need to.
Yeah, I think this loss is a whole different loss, though. I think Syracuse is better than Pittsburgh.
Can you put it up?
And 2, at the same time,
Oh, that's
yeah, my bad. Jermaine, you supposed to do this incognito.
I was
incognito.
Hey, listen,
fans, we're trying to keep y'all updated on the game.
No, we can't. I was trying to.
No, you gotta do it like you're doing in class. Watch it on the desk or something.
That's that bull.
But look at Clemson's schedule. They still got Georgia Tech. They still got NC State. So
Georgia Tech, NC State,
watch out,
Florida State.
Yeah,
open date coming in at a good time this week.
Yeah, Carolina's on bye week 2. But at the same time, we know how Clemson looks when Kenny Bryant is hurt.
Yeah.
So,
he hurt. Here you go.
He's not hurt now.
He's got 2 weeks to heal up, so we'll see how much healing he does.
I'm sure he'll be playing.
He felt like he got shot.
He did look like he got shot.
We know he's fragile.
He looked like Winston.
Hey, when you get slammed on that turf, it's probably got a layer of cement, right?
Oh,
like 2 inches underneath that turf. So.
You remember
that's not a good turf.
Hey, that grassy artificial.
Just like that.
When you hit it, it hurts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
As much as they say
slammed on,
it's grassy. Nah, you feel all of it.
Anything turf related hurts.
Yeah.
Especially if those little black beads get in your eyes and stuff like that.
Well, it gives. It gives very good. I mean, as far as it gives. As far as running and cutting and stuff like that, but hitting it,
you don't want to get slammed down.
Yeah, you gonna feel all of that.
No,
because really, truthfully, it is underneath all of that. You got. I mean, it depends. Some places you got cement. Some places you got dirt. You just don't know.
Yeah, like the old Veteran Stadium, Philly had the cement with the little old AstroTurf on top.
Go out to Arizona,
Eagles Nest.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't forget about the Eagles Nest.
And they got actual grass.
Next on the list, we got the baseball postseason is continuing. Dodgers is up 2-0 over the Cubs.
Go Dodgers.
And Houston's up 2-1 over New York. But still, New York is they won the last game. So game 4 was today at 5.
They're coming on right now.
Yeah. So and then Dodgers and Cubs, they playing right now actually. So I think
Dodgers Cubs is later on tonight.
Yeah,
like 8 or 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock.
So I want to say Houston and New York is wrapping up. So I feel go ahead and set that score now. But I did pick New York to go to the World Series, and I think I picked the Diamondbacks, but they lost last round.
50%.
Yeah.
50%.
Yeah. Well, New York hadn't gotten there yet, so
yeah.
Houston's pretty good. There's
right now the Astros
strong record.
Right now the Astros leads the Yankees 4-2 in the bottom 8. But
that would be 3 games to 1 if they hold on.
Well, Yankees got 2 people on base right now with 0 out, so that might change in a minute. So we'll check it out. Next, we got Aaron Rodgers is done for the season.
AR-12.
Wow.
Collarbone injury versus the Minnesota Vikings. It looked like Aaron Rodgers was upset when he was walking out the field.
You see that too?
Yeah.
Oh, he was pissed. I'm not gonna call it what it is. He was. He was. I mean, dude.
It's over for them.
No, you know what? I'm just being. I mean, as football players, you get out there, and sometimes guys. I mean, they find a way to hurt you.
Yeah.
Like they'll talk. You have coaches that will sit there and they will tell you, "I need you to purposely take him out." Like whether going for knees, I mean, with quarterbacks, look, go full force till you find a way to put him out.
Prime example, Alex Smith the other night. That dude could have avoided him.
Well,
yeah, he could have.
He didn't try to avoid him.
He wasn't gone.
But see, this is why I get agitated when they have the Tom Brady policies or legislations. Don't go for the knees. Don't hit him too hard.
Well, first off, Cam Newton did the same thing, so you can't.
But they're not instituting that for him though.
Who not?
Nobody.
Nobody.
Oh, okay. Here y'all go. Go ahead.
People go for his knees, and the referees don't call at all. They don't.
As soon as he had the last time, okay. I'm just gonna shut my mouth. I'm not gonna talk.
They really don't watch the highlight film from I believe 2 weeks ago.
Did they?
A lot of guys was going for the knees.
Did they not turn around and accommodate Cam Newton for his complaints about that?
They tried.
They did.
They trying to.
Listen.
Not as tough as Tom Brady. I know that's for a fact.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they.
All right, so Damon Williams said that was a clean hit. Damon Williams said that was a clean hit.
Clean hit
on Alex Smith. He was out of the pocket. He said he was a runner like Cam Newton.
Man, call it.
Cam Newton, that's a big body. You know, he can survive a hit, but going for the knees is totally out of the range.
Whatever. You call it what you want.
Next, well,
they give Cam what he want.
One QB who will not be playing no more though. Well, right now, Deshaun Kaiser, the bench starting QB for Cleveland. He recently liked a tweet saying that the Browns have and always will be the worst organization in the league.
Oh, wow.
Wow. No concept of building.
Does he want a job?
I mean, I see no lies there.
Yeah, he has since deleted the tweet.
I know. Well, okay.
You can't do that to your
You know what? Hey, first off, he don't want a job. And by that, they're going to kick him out.
Because if he'll say that about the team.
But he didn't say it. He just liked it. But he unliked it after it gave some viral.
Wow,
I'm done with this whole. I hate people who unlike tweets and people who delete the tweets they posted. If you posted it, stand by.
Own it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, pull
time for that.
You man enough to say it. You better be man enough to say it.
Own up to your tweet. Pull a Trump and just say, yeah, I said it. Why? And then last on the pick six. I think this will be our first time going through a whole list of pick six.
Wow.
How about
Las Vegas gets another pro team. They get a WNBA team called the Las Vegas Stars from San Antonio. I stand by my.
They moving?
Yeah, they moved from San Antonio to Las Vegas.
Well, that's gonna be lit. I'm finna go to some. Y'all want to go to some games?
Hey, hold on. I tried to tell Chris that
Walk Ons
before we got
that live.
He was like, "How they gonna be? It's gonna happen.
Well, you know,
successful out there in Las
If
Vegas."
you're a marketer and you can't get people to come to those games,
Well, Las Vegas got a hockey team now. They got
and you
a
think
football team coming, and they got a WNBA team.
With the
They probably work out
NBA
for it.
helping and supporting and backing the WNBA? Yeah, come on, man.
I got to see some more.
no.
See what?
The championship games were sold out
Okay.
Already.
Well, from this year when Minnesota, I was going to call
Minnesota,
it. The Lynx won. They were sold. I mean, the whole play.
WNBA or women's basketball.
Damn it, what you mean people don't support the WNBA? What you talking about?
People do support the WNBA.
They support it.
They support women college.
You just don't support the WNBA. That's the difference.
I'm pretty sure if South Carolina gets a WNBA,
those games
I'm pretty
gonna be
sure they come out.
No, South Carolina got too many politics. They ain't gonna do that because they can't even support the NFL.
I don't know about full-on support.
They so caught
That's
up on
back
Carolina,
in
they don't pay attention to nothing else.
And we'll come back. We'll talk about the NBA. We'll talk about the Boston Cleveland game that's going on now, and then the Houston Golden State, and then teams to watch. What teams is the team to watch?
And I got a hot
for this NBA season. For real?
Oh, I got a hot take that I heard today, and I want to know what y'all think.
We'll be back on the Walk Ons.
I'm just saying, Damon, I can't agree with you on that, sir.
I agree. South Carolina got a great fan base for the college basketball team.
Damon, that's what I'm saying.
Sure.
Like, they don't get full support.
You would think
they get
they
some
would
support.
support other things.
You don't.
Too. They didn't support the Arena League football.
But see, that's back in
baseball.
They're purposely going to give them the support they need.
But see, that's back in '95 or whatever year it was when politics was a little bit more stricter, and they had the AD there for South Carolina. They didn't want no NFL team come and take over. Yeah, Mike McGee taking on the women's rights.
Yeah,
we're in a different age now. I'm pretty sure Ray Tanner will go for that.
Yeah, I think he will.
Shout out to Ray Tanner, by the way.
Shout out to Ray. I think he's a different breed. He's brought a lot of attention, but he started the whole championship process with USC with winning the back-to-back, or was it a year after?
Hi, everybody. My name is Chris.
So
he won 2 and then lost 1.
Okay, so I mean, but that's still a lot of recognition for this, university to get, because it really started it. Then you had Don winning recently, and the men team going to the Final Four as well. So
true.
It's a different atmosphere when you have winning, because not everyone wants to be a part of something. So
true. Welcome back to the Walk Ons. Make sure you follow us on all of our social media at the Walk Ons Radio on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, all that good stuff. And make sure you share, tweet, comment, all that good stuff. We love
iHeartRadio, cuz.
Yeah, make sure you follow us on our podcast, iHeartRadio, and iTunes. And we'll be having our episodes on there. So you listen to our very first episode and to our very current one, which is this one. So make sure you follow us on our iHeart and iTunes. And speaking of iTunes, make sure you download my friend's new single, Demetria Wiley, Now Is the Single.
D, what up?
D Wiley.
How about that?
It's out. So make sure you go on iTunes and Amazon and download it today. Now Is the Single. And make sure you follow her on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. They got that? That's a good shot right there. Perfect.
Cool.
All right. So make sure you do that right now. All right. So let's talk about some NBA. Houston, Golden State plays later on tonight. We got Harden and Paul teaming up.
Update on the game right now.
Well, Hayward is
down.
No, he's out.
He's out. Down as we speak right now.
He's out.
And Boston's funeral begins.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Wow. Well, there you go, guys. There you go.
He broke
as we speak at this moment,
broke his ankle.
He is officially down.
Yeah, his ankle,
turn the iPad around, MC.
His ankle looked like this on the other, but yeah.
Oh,
he is officially down.
LeBron is down like this. That means it's a wrap.
No, it was bad. His ankle was like
really
this way.
Yeah, he is.
Like bro. This, but it was this way.
Turn around, MC.
Well, we ain't gonna see it right now.
Show it again, but it was this.
Wow.
Way. Your ankle ain't supposed to do that. It's supposed to do this.
Guys, there go your NBA update for your Boston and Cleveland game.
Get well soon, Gordon Hayward. Kyrie said he want to lead the team. All right, here's your time, man. Go.
Hey, I'm going to tell you the truth.
Go.
Wow. Kyrie is...
help healing.
Wow.
That's tough.
Yep, officially. He is officially down at this present moment.
I mean, Boston still got other...
Nah. It's a wrap. It's a wrap, bro.
Now it's really centered around Al Horford and Kyrie. That's it.
They gonna probably trade somebody to get somebody.
Yeah, LeBron sitting on the bench like, oh Lord.
No, it was nasty. What? I have a strong.
Did he come down on somebody?
I don't know what happened.
We don't know yet. We about to see it.
His ankle is this way. Your ankle go like this. His ankle was this way.
Yeah.
Wow,
it's not good.
So we officially are telling you right now. That's what's going on.
Well, the score.
Breaking news on the Walk Ons.
If you want to know the score, if you're watching this and you're watching the game, but if you're watching this right now, it's 10-9 Boston. But
12-9, just to let you know.
Come on, Verizon.
Hey, listen, it's different when you can watch.
They got him off the court because I still see him on the court.
Well, I'm watching live television.
No, he's still on the court.
So
all right. Well, I give up on Verizon. At least the phone calls work. But Boston, Cleveland going on right now. Houston going to stay take on later on tonight. What are some teams to watch too? For this NBA season, I say Oklahoma City, of course. You know they got Paul and Westbrook and Anthony there now.
Carmelo.
This little team called Golden State went 16-1 in the playoffs last year.
Golden State is.
You might want to watch that.
They still gonna be at the top of the West. I'm just gonna. Oh, they go to play right here. They're still gonna be the top of the West. Regardless. I mean, until we still don't even. Oh my Jesus, that looks disgusting.
See, I can't even see this.
But they actually. I'm sorry to side note. But Golden State is gonna be the top of the West. At this moment, because you don't know the gel, how everybody else is gonna gel yet. Still we gotta see, and that's gonna even how Cleveland has to gel too. So you'll find out as the season goes along. Those teams should make the playoffs, but you still don't know what you have compared to what Golden State already has. They're established, so they should come out of the West. And then in the East, Cleveland is still top of the East. And with this,
you got the Wizards
with this. They should do it. They should do it anyway. The Wizards, are strong, but they should. They'll probably with this injury just happening, they have a better chance than.
Then he's got Philly next.
Boston has. Philly can't get out the injury place.
Do we trust the process?
I said it.
They can't get out the injury.
I said at the end of the NBA season.
You always say.
Am I wrong, OP?
They going to the finals?
Can Philly ever get out the injury box?
I ain't going that far.
It seems like everybody gets hurt when they come in.
I mean, but it's not. Now it's not that. Okay, let's look at it from a perspective. If they get over the injury box, and now it's about do they have enough during the playoffs with experience,
right?
So I mean, when you got the East will be packed because it'll be a lot of teams 38 and whatever coming down the stretch. A lot of those teams are mentally prepared and been there before, so they know what it takes. So are they going to be prepared to do whatever they need to do to, take that next step? it sounds good, and yes, you want to, and if you're selling tickets, you need to do that. But I've been there. I've been on a young team, and I don't see anybody that's been on a winning team. They still all progressively are going through this together. So I think this is another lump that they will all have to take together. But I think after that year, maybe because it's too many guys that are with potential to be superstars or even, great players, because, you got Simmons, you got Joe Embiid, you got there's a lot of guys on that team. So it's a good team, but it's just young. So when you say that at the end of the day, when we get down to March and the playoff run, when all these teams are 38 and 33 and 5 through 8, and they're all bunched together. A lot of those teams have veterans on their team that can be, you know what I'm saying, let's stay focused. Let's stay focused.
What up, Kristen? I see she just joined.
Yeah.
Yo, if Joel Embiid's
Chrissy's supposed to be here.
if Joel Embiid's on-court game can match his Twitter game, he'll be all right.
That's just my opinion. I mean, the two teams are still the strongest two teams in the NBA right now. It's Golden State and Cleveland.
What about the Lakers? I mean, Lakers.
Stop talking.
Oh no, I got to take about
the
Lakers. Not
way too young.
I got something.
They're going.
I'm a great Lakers fan, but at the same time,
I'll give you next year, but this year, no.
They'll be all right this year. Next year, to actually contend for something.
Maybe.
Like the Lakers, I think it'll be next year to actually.
Maybe.
If LeBron don't go there and Paul George, no.
And I'm still giving you
only because at this time next year, I think that Jimmy Butler trade goes into full effect. I think they have a year together.
I forgot about Jimmy Butler.
You still got Jane that is on the backup center that's still on the. You never know what's gonna happen with. I think he got traded, but if he's not, the big Serbian guy that's like 7 foot, is like 260. So they got a lot. It's other guys that people don't. I watch the Wolves, so and you got to think about it. They are a Tom Thibodeau team that believes in defense. So you got all your guys, Taj Gibson, and you start. We've seen that. I'm a Bulls fan. I've seen what that can do. So this year's gonna be interesting because he has his guys. Right. Those other guys have been in that system. So now this is the season you go, well, what's going to happen? He's going to grind. Like, I'm not worried about Tom. They'll be 5 because they play defense. Yeah. And his team's going to compete. And you got a young group of guys in Cat and Wiggins that can score. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. I don't know how far their ceiling is with, Houston and Golden State, the Spurs, and
can't ever forget about the Spurs.
So I really,
the Spurs will always be in it.
I would put them in 5 and even Utah 4 in those conversations because the Quinn Snyder teams, those teams are young enough. They only know one way, and that's the art. So you got to put. I take LA Clippers out, and I put Utah, and I put the Wiggins and
slightly off topic, but since we did talk about the Lakers, I'm online today, and I see somebody that says strictly in ISO 1-on-1. That Kyrie would cook Kobe. Both in their prime.
No.
And they ventured to say
not Kobe in his prime.
They ventured to say Kyrie could cook anybody in ISO.
No.
Okay.
I mean, because he got to guard.
And I thought maybe I'm tripping.
He's still right. He still got to go down and guard the other person.
Yeah. So like that'll eat. It's like you said. That's why they have weight classes in boxing. I'm serious because
I got you.
Because you it don't seem like because we see those big guys go up and down and they're not doing it. They're not touching the ball, but. I played against another big guy. To do that and still run around, you're not gonna do it because it's gonna eat a lot of your energy. It's gonna eat a lot of your energy.
Whoever that was,
I mean,
get that out of there.
In theory, it should because he's a little guy. I get it, but no, because at the end of the day, it's 1-on-1, and when I played 1-on-1 full court, and the first thing you do is you try to minimize the court. So. Yeah, it's cool.
I see Kobe. Somebody in the comments.
Yeah, so and Kobe can post them up. So it's. But I mean, in theory, that's how we as basketball players know if you know what basketball. You say stuff like that, we go, oh, okay.
And I'm like, why would you post this?
I mean, because in his mind, it was
that he think you're right.
Oh no, they went ahead and flamed him online.
I mean, he could have picked somebody else. But
he said
they flamed him online.
He's like 2 inches tall. Like no, I mean
he don't got a chance.
I mean they'll be fighting for.
But back to the topic though, Portland.
I mean,
I want to see them do well.
Portland is a sleeper, but at the same time,
they have McCollum.
They have to play to make it work, but at the same time, I think it's the coaching.
No,
that's not the coach.
I have to say it's the coach.
It's not.
They got Lillard.
You had to.
He's not. It's the West.
It's not. They don't have
the Pelicans have the 2 best big men in the league.
How you explain?
Well, he came late anyway, so.
But you still got the 2 best. Like it's
look as much as I would love to see my boy CJ do excellent, rep Ohio and rep home. At the end, to be honest with you, bro, they don't have enough weapons to be able to handle some of these other teams in the West right now. Him and Damian are awesome players, but to be able to handle a team like a Golden State or even a Oklahoma City right now, they can't. They don't have the pieces to do that. I think they do need big men. They don't have big men. Jerkic is good, but I'm saying, but think about. I ain't talking about just down like that. What other pieces you got around you? What bench players do you have that's going to be able to come off the bench and give you what you need?
Go ahead.
Opie, you mentioned the ceiling. I think it seems like everybody has a ceiling other than Golden State and Cleveland. They played 3 consecutive titles, and how much do these guys really believe that they're going to break through and unseat one of the teams in the finals?
And that's what Charles Barkley was alluding to earlier, and Shaq. Like, at some point, I think we get in this super teams and this team, and Jordan was a super team. Right. It wasn't that. It was the 90s were way more competitive. Everybody thought they were who they were. They didn't think that nobody went and said Jordan. Everybody else said Jordan. Right. Even when Jordan was in his prime, like, those guys are retired now, so they give him credit. So they kind of misscrew that and say, oh, well, he said, no, not when – you never heard nobody – even when they were playing, compliment somebody else. You never. This is the first time in 17 years I heard Isaiah Thomas give a half-decent remark to Jordan. I'm serious. Like, those they walked off the court. Oh, yeah. So that's how competitive it is. These guys openly give, he's good. It was never that.
More hard fouls going on back then.
I mean, because it wasn't hate.
They didn't care to. It was just a competitive. Yeah, so I mean, they just didn't care to.
I just think that's it. You got everything. So whenever they cut it on and go, hey, wait a minute, because it was a time I actually remember when Kobe, LeBron, D Wade, and Melo would always go shake Kobe's hand before the game, and at one point they didn't. They stopped, and that's when I go, see, now they know he's just. But it was pretty much when he was getting toward the end. But you know what I'm saying. But when you young, you smell that blood. You young, but it's on them. They got it.
I love what you want.
Yeah. Well, we keep track of the NBA scores as we go throughout the night. Coming up next, we got high school spotlight. We got Spring Valley's head coach Bacon. We're gonna preview the game on Friday night between Spring Valley and Dutch Fort. And we're going to ask him about, I don't know. We're going to find out.
So really? Did you really just say that?
We're going to figure it out and get back.
Yeah, we'll figure it out and get back.
We're going to ask him. I don't know.
Yeah, we're going to figure it out. Not sure. Great question.
I think the Spurs gonna upset somebody.
I'd be shocked. It would not shock
Marcus.
me.
Coach Bacon, what's going on, man?
Coach Bacon. Coach Bacon.
You know who that is?
Man, hey, don't do that. I see Coach Bacon all the time. Don't hate Spring Valley all day. You know what I mean? He comes in and supports us for track too. Okay, sir.
That's right.
That's why we support him for football. And our cross country girls will be there for the first round of the playoffs to support.
There you go.
The football team.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's always good to have a coach that supports every sport.
I'm just saying that's why Coach Bacon is that he's the guy.
But we told you, Spring Valley been the best school we've had.
Oh yeah.
On any of these high school game days. I'm just saying.
All right, let's bring back in here. Welcome back to the Walk Ons. Make sure you follow us on all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, all that good stuff. So make sure you follow us at the Walk Ons Radio, and make sure you follow our podcast at iHeartRadio and on iTunes. So if you want to hear all of our episodes that we have done so far, go ahead and follow us there, and then also download my friend's new single. Now is the single Demetri Riley on iTunes and Amazon. This came out today, so here it is right here. This goes last time right here. So make sure you download it and hear some great music that she will be providing.
Goku.
D Riley, everybody. Make sure you follow her on.
And we are also on USC's radio now, WUSC 90.
Oh yeah. New network, brand new. So make sure you go ahead and get us out there because we're doing big things now. On the phone with us, we got not nobody new to the show, but friend to the show.
But man, the GOAT.
Yeah, the GOAT, the head coach of Spring Valley, Coach Bacon. Coach Bacon, how you feeling, man?
Good, man. Everything going good with you guys?
Yeah, it is going good. Can't complain.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, everybody's labeling this game on Friday night as the game of the year. We got Spring Valley undefeated. Dutch Fort has one loss against Fort Dorchester, but if you look at the level of competition, that could have went both ways technically. So this will be a great matchup coming up on Friday night. What is your preparations for Dutch Fort Silver Foxes coming up?
I think the biggest thing is, obviously they're a big rival of ours, and that rivalry's really grown over the last few years. And, they don't really change what they do. They feel very confident with what they do. We feel very confident with what we do. And, we haven't made a lot of changes other than maybe a few defensive changes for what we need to do this week. They know what we do. We know what they do. And this is going to be a clash of, two really good football teams, and they're extremely well coached. So we know we've got to have our A game as a coaching staff ready for these guys.
All right, Coach, what about Channing Tindall? What kind of players he been for you this year? What kind of leaders he been? And how much you going to lean on him on this game on Friday night?
Well, he's the heart and soul of our defense, and, our defense goes because of him. And that's not to say that we don't have a lot of really good talent around him. He's got a lot of players that really stepped up in some key positions we were worried about going in. We lost 8 seniors, starters from last year, and 5 of those guys are playing college from last year's team. So that was a big dip in talent. But, he brings it every day in practice. He makes everybody around him a lot better players. He's a great teammate. He's very humble. Puts his teammates in front of himself, and he's going to have a huge game because Bryce Thompson is obviously, I'm coaching the Shrine Bowl, and Bryce is I've got him as a wide receiver, so I can tell you as a Shrine Bowl wide receiver coach, he was number 1 or number 2 on my list. So, I know how good he is, and we really kind of harped on that. We know he's the key to their offense, and he's the one that kind of makes that offense go. I think last week I think he had 189 yards. I think 3 touchdowns. So he's dynamic, and Coach Knotts does a really good job of moving people around. So Channing's got to have a big game. And he understands that, and the rest of the guys on defense have to have a big game to shut him down.
All right, Coach, I think you, if I'm not mistaken, you had to replace most of your offensive line. You talk about losing a lot of guys. So how surprised are you that these guys have stepped in there and helped lead this team to such success when being so inexperienced in that area?
Well, that's an area. That was my biggest concern going into this year. We don't run a lot of plays. So, I guess in that sense, in the triple option, there's about 10 or 11 plays that we run. So we get a lot of repetition, which is good versus other schools who may have 40 or 50 plays and get, not as many reps. Those kids have really matured. They were really kind of, they all played JV last year. We're not really mature enough to really kind of get the grasp of what we needed to do. They're still kind of happy-go-lucky type kids. We're trying to really get them to kind of grind and be physical and those kind of things because they have all the attributes of that. But, Rick Crumper, who's our offensive line coach, is one of the best offensive line coaches around. He really gotten them on par, and they've done the things that, Quincy's such a good quarterback. Even when there's a breakdown in blocking, he can make plays happen. But those guys have gotten better every week. There's a lot of mistakes early on that, they're not making now. And that's shows to a lot of our success has been, those guys have gotten better every week.
Good old Crump.
Hey, Coach, I had to say, though, you mentioned JV. I had to say, because I used to be a JV coach at Richmond Northeast. I am undefeated against Spring Valley.
Oh, here you go.
Just had to throw that out there. Coach Gibson, if you're watching.
That's right.
If you're watching, I represent us, man. We undefeated.
Still living pipe dreams.
A little different story this year, Richmond Northeast and Spring Valley.
Right.
But,
yeah, it's a whole different story right now. But I'm just saying.
Coach Baker, man, this Tremaine, I want to ask you this question, man. To see now at 8-0, with the team, what is the mindset of the guys right now, from the beginning of the season to right now? How's the maturity level grown for them, and especially knowing coming into this game against Dutch Fort? What is the mindset of the guys right now, and even some of the leaders?
Well, I think the biggest thing is, we always say we take one game at a time, and that was something that was important. We had a lot of success preseason against some really good competition and scrimmages and some other things, which really kind of opened our eyes to say, hey, we can be pretty good. And we felt like that going in, that we had enough talent to be pretty good, and we needed a few guys. We had maybe five or six kids that moved in really key positions. Anthony Wilson came over from Hammond. Jalen Geiger came over from Cardinal Newman. Malik Wesley moved in, a wide receiver from Las Vegas.
Wow.
We had a kid, Jalen Keels, that came in as a defensive lineman, and they really filled some holes that we were really concerned with graduation.
Right.
And, we've got good seniors. I think that's the big thing. They really get along well. It's a very family oriented. That's kind of the way I build our programs. I tell these guys, hey, we're like a family. We can't let each other down. Every day we got to come to work, and everybody's got to put in the same amount of work. And I think as this thing has gone on further and further, they really understand kind of the process and, building a program. And, this is my third year, and every year we've gotten a little bit better. And, but I think they see it. I think it's kind of like that, that analogy of, if you're a train in a tunnel, you see the light at the end of the tunnel. I think those kids see that, and they realize that we've got a chance to be special. And there's some great teams out there. I mean, if you look at the lower state, Dutch Fork, Conway, Fort Dorchester, Sumter, and we've already beat Sumter. We've got a chance to be really good, and we've just got to eliminate mistakes, play hard, and just just give it, like we say, outstanding effort every play. If we do that, we give ourselves a chance to win every football game.
Oh yeah, and I want to ask a two-part to this. Looking at how have the guys, one thing is how have the guys come together as far as competition, because you just shared that a lot of different players have come in. So how's the level of competition come together within practices for the players competing against each other? And as well as that, what is the mindset? How are the guys communicating about this week against Dutch Fork?
Well, I mean, I think you said it right there. The best way to get better is have competition at every position. You look at, and I'll use Clemson, for example. I mean, they've got so much talent at Clemson, and those guys are, battling every day for jobs. And that's kind of how we are. I'm one of these coaches that I don't name a starter and you're the starter the rest of the year. You got to earn that every week. And that's the performance on Friday night. I think the second thing, the second part of that question is these kids realize Dutch Fork's a great team. We have not beaten, this is my 7th year. I don't think they've beaten Dutch Fork since 2007. And that's been a big motivating thing for our kids that, they knocked us out of, we were 11-0 in 2013. I think we're 12-0. We had them in the second round of the playoffs and really completely dominate them, to an extent that you can dominate Dutch Fork. But they came back and scored about 3 minutes left in the game. We lost the game in overtime. We slipped that game. On the yard line. It was just heartbreaking. And then, last year, we're leading them with about 5 minutes left in the game and, probably played them as good as anybody last year. So our kids know they can play against them. I think that's the big thing is, a lot of teams go in intimidated. A lot of teams go in, this is Dutch Fork. And I told them, I said, hey, guys, we can play with everybody. And you got to have confidence to be able to go in there and say, hey, we can go to their place and beat them. And I think that's the thing that they're talking to each other about is, it's going to be a war. I mean, it's going to be a great – I mean, everybody that's out there, you want to see a good high school football game, you probably won't find a better one. There's a great one early on with Fort Dorchester and Dutch Fork. I think this is going to be a really good football game. It's going to be exciting. So, I mean, and our kids know that. They've been communicating with each other. Here's a change. It's funny. They're all I heard a bunch of them say, hey, man, when you listen to Eminem, Lose Yourself, you got one shot, and I said, yeah, that's right. I mean, that's what you got one shot to do something that shocks the world. And I told them it wouldn't shock the world. If we went out there and beat them, if we play the way we are, I expect to beat them, and that's what I told them. I said, that's the kind of confidence you got to have. So, yeah,
y'all built an awesome culture with those young guys out there, and seeing them compete like that is huge. Just watching you guys day in and day out from the summertime to now. I have a lot of respect for what you guys are doing to the program. And I mean, I remember that game you guys lost to them in 2013, which was it was big. So
it was a heartbreak. I mean, that's one that just is hard to swallow because and of course they went on to win the state championship, right. and I think that was what made it tough for us. And it really kind of fuels your fire. I mean, if you're a coach and you're competitive. And you want to play the best, and that's kind of how I am. I don't shy away from competition. I want to play the best teams. I don't want to go to some podunk town and beat somebody that's not very good. I want Dutch Fork and somewhere else. And this is a way for our kids to kind of, it's a measuring test. It's going to tell us, how good we are compared to the Fort Dorchesters and the Conways and the Sumters and everything else.
Oh yeah.
So it's and I'll go back too and you said it, man. I think one of the best things we got at Spring Valley is, I make all our kids compete in other sports. I want them to run track. I want them to run play basketball and baseball and all that other and I think that helps the culture at Spring Valley. I'm not one of these guys like a lot of coaches say, hey, you need to be with me year round and do that. I mean, and I think that really has helped our football program over the years get better, is that we have a great relationship with all the other coaches there.
Awesome. High school game day will be at Dutch Fort High School as Spring Valley takes on the Cyril Fawcett's. We'll be going live on pregame at 7 o'clock p.m. on Facebook Live, and we'll be on our radio show 7:30 p.m.
Bacon
live broadcast of the game. So make sure you let all your friends know, let your students know, all that stuff. And Coach Bacon, make sure you spread the word at Spring Valley, because y'all got a pretty good fan base over there.
The best student section we've had.
Turn up.
Hey, well, you guys are the best in the business, so that's why we like having y'all at Spring Valley.
Awesome.
Good luck, Coach.
Good luck, Coach.
I appreciate it,
All right.
guys.
Coming up
Thanks
next, we got Lancaster High Coach Lancaster Head. Ricardo Priest.
You said you'll be first.
I was waiting. Them lips.
He
Chat
said
lips.
All right, Coach Bacon, talk to you soon.
Hey, Coach Bacon,
guys, thanks a lot.
I'll see you Friday, sir.
He called him before the show.
Ricardo Priest.
Them chap lips.
Hey, man.
Cause you
starting
done
no
messed
fires in
up.
South
Oh,
Carolina.
don't be licking your lips now. Don't lick them now. After they probably hurt. They probably your lips burning.
Oh,
Marcus, is your lips burning? Cause you're talking. Look,
calm down.
you still licking them. You still licking them.
Might not recognize your number.
Marcus.
all right.
Just let your lips chat. Just let your chat lips. Hey, Marcus he trying to lick his lips. So and then he trying to like block us out so that he don't have to hear.
There we go. Mr. Priest.
Yes, sir.
Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How you doing?
Doing good. All right, let's bring the show back in.
All
We'll go
right, he
ahead
called you on his phone. That's Marcus.
That's why your lips hurt right now. Quit licking them.
Hey,
Quit licking them.
welcome back to the Walk On.
Oh, wow.
Make sure you follow us on all of our social media at the Walk Ons Radio, and make sure you follow our podcast at iHeartRadio and iTunes.
I hate to cut you off, but why you digging in the microphone?
Bring him in.
Oh yeah, you gonna bring them in.
Stop digging in the
First,
microphone.
gotta pick out your main phone.
No, stop digging in the microphone.
Huh?
Because you might
Man,
rub all the metal off the doggone microphone the way you use it.
Before while we bring in Mr. Priester, I gotta say your name has to be the hardest I had to say tonight. By the
No,
way,
he couldn't say Lancaster. That's what was hard.
I can't say Lancaster. I can't say Priester at the same time. So
Marcus, say school.
no, and that's all right. Walker, go ahead.
All right. So I'm excited to welcome in Ricardo Priester. He's his dad and is a good friend of mine, so I've known him for a long time and really happy for his success. And I'm going to just give him a brief bio on him, and we'll get to some questions. He in high school, made a tough move, a decision to take on to Camden Military his sophomore year of high school, leaving the comforts of family and to take on that challenge. And he played there sophomore through his senior year, went on to Wingate, was a 4-year starter there at Wingate, had a short stint with the Hornets and a 4-year career overseas. He made a decision to get into coaching, and went first to his alma mater at Camden Military, and then he got an offer to come over to Lancaster High School, and that's where he's been for the last 13 years. And so we want to welcome him in. Welcome in, Ricardo.
What's up, Cardo?
What's going on, guys? Thank you for having me.
Hey, did I get your bio right there? Anything I left out? Anything you want to add to it?
Hey,
Any fake
it's already
news?
official, Robert. Now it's already official now. So anything that's not true, we're gonna go with it.
any fake news? Go ahead and tweet about it. We can talk about it later.
All right. Well, let's jump right into it. Everybody wants to know about Sindarius and
Absolutely.
yeah. And well, how long did you know that he was like an NBA level talent?
Well, I told his uncle, DeJuan Thornwell, also known as Country, after his freshman year, we always work out the first Monday in June, if it falls in the last Monday in May, throughout that whole month. And, just to introduce our system to the incoming guys and freshmen and whatnot, our terminology and things of that nature. Mm-hmm. And Sindarius came in, he hit the ground running. You know, everybody obviously knows that, you know, it's pretty much a folk story at this point. He came in the first practice kind of lackadaisical. We kicked him out, came back the next day, and the rest is history. But nevertheless, he had an outstanding summer. And I sat his uncle down at that time, and I told him, I was like, listen, I've been blessed and fortunate enough to be able to, you know, play the game at a pretty high level. I didn't play Division I basketball, but I had some NBA experience, overseas experience, so I've been able to play, you know, the game at a high level, and I've been around some great coaches in my time that I've been able to learn from. And I just told his uncle, I said, you know, he's got all the intangibles, and he's got a chance. I mean, I just simply told him he has a chance. As everybody knows, you got a better chance of being struck by lightning twice than going to the NBA. So,
yes, sir.
You know,
all right.
But I just knew he was a special young man, no question.
What are some of your best memories of his time there at Lancaster High School, and when you were able to coach him there?
Well, Sindarius was one of those guys where he was probably one of the fiercest competitors I've ever been around. But at the same time, he had a knack for just allowing his teammates to kind of relax before a big game, and then he also had the ability to obviously make his teammates better. So he's just a very, very unique young man, very, very high character young man. And it's, you know, not too many coaches get opportunity to coach young men like Sindarius. So, you know, my staff and I, we're very, very, you know, fortunate.
Hey, Coach. Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to interrupt you. My bad.
No problem.
You coach Lancaster High School Bruins. There we go. I said it right this time.
Yes, sir.
So what's your upcoming I'm not gonna say no more though. I was gonna say LAN.
I'm gonna shut my mouth.
LAN Bruins. So what's your upcoming team looking at for this year? I know last year you went 7-15 and you started out strong, but once you got the to play, things got, you know, a little tough for y'all. What's your outlook for this year coming up?
Well, we had a lot of young guys. We were in a situation last year where our younger guys were better than our veteran guys, but the difference was our younger guys didn't have any experience. And we play in a very, very tough league. Anytime you play anywhere in Columbia, you better bring your A game. So, you know, we have a very tough league from top to bottom. You know, no nights off. I think experience, you know, obviously it's cliche, experience is the best teacher, and we're able to get some of those younger guys experience. So going into this season, you know, we're a lot more poised. Guys understand what they can and what they can't do, who they are, who they're not. And that's very, very important. So I feel like as long as we continue to, you know, stay focused on getting better every day and keeping it super simple, we got a chance to compete. So that's all you can ask for. I think we'll be a lot better this year than we were last year.
What's up, Coach? This is Bryant Matthews. I had a question, but I think we're going to be going into commercial soon, so I guess you can answer it during the commercial. But I just want to know, I know you had some brief time with the NBA and overseas. I think my biggest thing would be somebody like you who's done the same thing. What is the message you are trying to send when you get players like that are special? Because I know I'm having a hard time personally trying to get parents to understand like the dedication it takes from the parents, not necessarily the you know, the players, but the parents, and having to step up and dedicate themselves to a new lifestyle, or just being able to commit themselves to certain stuff so that their kid can get the type of exposure and training they need so that they can get better.
Right. Well, first of all, Brian, I think you just need to tell them that their son is nowhere near as good a ball player as you were.
That Virginia Tech.
That's the first thing you need to go ahead and tell them. Like, you're not the player that you were. Okay. But you know, it's just as you know, it's a process. It's a process. It's not one thing that you can point to, but it's a process. It's a variety of things. Self-discipline, you know, work ethic. It's got to be a lifestyle. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Hey, Coach, we're going to bring you right back after this commercial break. Make sure you stay tuned right here on the Walk Ons. We'll talk to Coach Ricardo Priester. We'll ask him one final question. Then after that, we'll have Coach Friday. I'm pretty sure he's going to talk up the whole 7 minutes. So we'll come back from commercial. Ricardo Priester, stay tuned.
Hey, Coach.
Right. Yes, sir.
How you doing, Coach?
The same
What's
guy.
What's going on, man?
I call everybody Coach. That way I don't have to say their name.
I'm talking about you. You do your introduction all the time when you talk. I like that, though.
Oh, I mean, I ain't nobody. I mean,
oh, you somebody. You on our show. So
I mean, whatever.
We all somebody.
Everybody's somebody, brother. Everybody's somebody.
I think my biggest thing is the tradition. I think it's a little better being in Lancaster. I know it's probably still hard trying to build culture and trying to build what you want. You know, we all as players have this idea of what we want from our players and the tradition around it. So I think it's a little easier because it's smaller. So once you get something going, especially with you having success with a player like Sandarius and you brought him up, it's a little bit more easy for people to trust them to give you their child. So I just feel like the culture here in South Carolina is a little skeptical because of a lot that goes on in the basketball world with social events as far as paid money balls. Or you want to bring us in?
Oh, yeah.
Hold on one second, Coach.
All right.
Let that ride.
We got to get Coach Fry in a second. All right.
Check it.
Welcome back to the Walk Ons. We got Coach Ricardo Priester from Lancaster High School talking in. Say, I got it right this time. It's smooth this time. So we'll ask this one final question, then, Coach, we're going to have to bring you back in next week so we have more time to talk to you.
Absolutely.
You have a new baby here, right?
Yes, sir.
What's his name? Or her name?
It's a he.
Is it he? Good.
It's a him. It's Ricardo Marquis Priester II.
Okay.
Okay.
We call him Marquis.
So you seen basketball in the future for him?
Yes, his mom was a very good athlete in her own right. She played volleyball in college and played soccer and basketball. But definitely, we're going to have it. The ball
Nice
is definitely going to be around him, no question.
Awesome.
All right,
Coach. We have to call you back on next Tuesday so we have more time to talk to you. But make sure you look up Lancaster High School Bruins. Their basketball season should be kicking off in a few weeks from now, so make sure you check them out.
got 3 dates in Columbia, so you can check them out in locally.
Sir.
If you're playing LR Diamonds, we'll definitely be there.
Hey. They got Ridgeview. Who else you got in Columbia?
Richmond's a good team.
Oh,
We got Ridgeview, Westwood, and Richmond Northeast.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay.
So make sure you check them out when they come here to Columbia. I know Lancaster is a far distance, so make sure you check out the Bruins this coming year. Coach, we'll talk to you soon, all right?
Thanks,
guys,
Ricardo.
for having me.
all right.
Coach
you.
Ricardo Priester of Lancaster High School
Robbie,
joined us.
gotta get his number so I can call and talk to him.
We get him in there.
Update of the game, man. Cavs up 38-25. 38-25.
What's the stats of that, man? Why are we getting Coach Fry on the line? Yeah, stats.
They ain't showing no stats right now, so sorry about your luck.
That's all right.
A lot to a little.
We're more concerned about you burning that microphone.
Hey, I'm just fine. Just like I said the name
Hey.
great this time.
Only you can prevent forest.
See, look. I'll tell here we go. Coach Fry is coming.
Man, I'm done.
There we go.
Hello.
Coach.
Hey, guys.
What's going on, Coach Fry? Hey, look, now I know you be going through change of seasons with your lips. So
Pause.
they picking at my chappy lips right now.
Takes one to know one.
I just want to let you know, like, that's a natural thing, though, right?
Oh, snap, me. That is so funny.
Coach Fry, is that true?
Coach Fry, you put him on mute because he didn't want to hear.
Wow. Is this Martin Lawrence?
Hey, I'm just saying, it's a change of season. It was 48 last night, and it's going to be 44 tonight. So,
the way your lips looked, it was -3.
Well, I'm telling you what, man, this comedy hour.
see,
I got to pick with him. I got to pick him, though.
see, I left my chapstick in the car, and I said, you know what? It'll be fine. We got HD cameras here.
Robbie.
You got HD camera. Exactly.
So they can't really see the chapstick.
You said HD, did you?
HD. If you on Facebook, you see my chapstick, just hit the like button and see.
But I was
just
about to get 1,000 likes.
Oh, great. If you see the chat, just let me know. All right.
Man, that's funny, dude.
Coach Fry, what's on your mind today, man?
Man, what's on my mind is the Gamecocks took it to the people up there in the Rocky Top.
See?
They didn't hear that song. They didn't hear that song. That song did not play.
Hey, I will say,
not after a touchdown anyway, right? Maybe after about 3 field goals.
They played that. That's a short song. That's a 3-second song. A 3-point is 3 seconds.
I will say the last drive for Tennessee had my heart pounding out my chest, though. I ain't gonna lie to you. Now, how you gonna have a guy wide open in the middle like that and have a 40 or 50-yard pass reception, knowing good and well they gotta get down the field and score a touchdown?
'Cause y'all can't cover nothing.
I'm not saying.
Man,
Hey, look.
They had the outside covered well. It's just the middle of the field.
That's enough.
A win and a W. I take
That's right.
W's.
Yes,
That's what we got.
That's it.
I agree with you.
You're right.
I don't talk
W's,
about,
W's.
I don't talk about shouldas, wouldas, and who was covered. It's a
He just said
W.
who was colored. Yo,
No, I mean,
shoulda, woulda, and who was colored. There's a lot of them.
Man, there's a lot of people that don't have no W's and don't have no L's, but they count. They don't have no 500 wins. They don't have none of that under their resume, but they know more about winning and losing than people that do it for a living.
Facts.
Facts.
True.
Actually, that was a very well played football game by 2 very good teams.
Tennessee's a good team.
In front of 100 and for yes.
Yeah. Defensively, I said they are.
Football team. It's a matter of who you're playing.
I think that
Georgia might disagree with you, but yeah.
that QB that they got, what's his name, Guantanamo or something like that, for Tennessee.
His first ever start.
He's gonna be good when he get more experience under his belt.
Yeah. He's a better runner than the other guy, but
yeah.
All of that, all that is conversation because we ain't there. That's a great quarterback. I mean, there's a freshman playing Texas A&M that people blame and almost told the coach he should be fired because he lost his number 1 quarterback the first in the second half of the UCLA game. So this kid is a good player down there, and he's a 5-star player.
They can say what they want. Texas A&M is backup quarterback they got starting. That dude is good.
Oh yeah,
he's young. Like I said, if he would have had a little bit more experience, Alabama would have had a problem. So serious. If that defense for Alabama was, Texas A&M defense was killing.
Texas A&M is a good team. They just that UCLA loss is like a black dark cloud over them. So each game they play, everybody's gonna think of the UCLA comeback against Texas A&M.
Yeah, they won this game.
They always gonna label them this year after that.
I'm sorry, but
that kid got behind his guard in the UCLA game. He didn't get behind the center.
UCLA is never that good either. That's how they go out there.
No. I mean, but nobody expected Syracuse.
Second team quarterback. I just hope we don't have to play a second team quarterback.
Look,
Clemson played a second team quarterback last week also.
Yeah.
I'm saying.
And the kid that's on the bench is on the bench for a reason, and that's a good kid. In a couple of weeks, that kid's gonna be a great quarterback.
Did you
expect? But the first time out, they are not. They haven't even been. And the NFL takes second team quarterbacks, and they have a problem. Wait till the kid up there in Green Bay.
Yep.
I mean, it's.
Now, what about our second?
Particularly when your first string goes down in the middle of the game, and you didn't have the whole week to prepare that backup for the playing opportunity.
Everybody ain't Case Keenum.
Right.
Because he came in and killed it, but everybody can't do that.
So let's say Bentley got hurt, and they said Skarnecki is coming on in.
A 1-star.
Well, season's down the drain. Well, it's already down the drain.
Hey, we on USC Radio.
And any kind of game that you got, anything you play, the most improvement for an athlete is the second game.
That's right.
And for a team, the most improvement is the second game. The first time out, you don't get to have a chance to have spring practice with a guy. You don't have the chance on every position to have him be the first teamer out there in the fall practice. So you missed 40 practices with the athlete being a second guy, and then he had to get in the game.
Yep.
I think Carolina has done a great job with the offensive line. They are doing one heck of a job because they keep playing guys who were second teamers. And each week, in the last 4 weeks, those kids have just gotten to be better and better. And they're going to end up being the strength of the program. And that's what you have to have to win. because those kids are freshmen and sophomores that are playing and getting playing time.
Mm-hmm.
So when the starter comes back, you'll be able to rotate them because these other kids were forced to play. The same with a backup quarterback.
Hey, I will say this, Coach. Not if, because it's already confirmed. When they carry on Jordan come to USC next year, do you think it'd probably be best for him to be redshirt since they pretty much got all their money into Jake Bentley, or should there be a QB battle once he gets there next year?
Well, the big thing is NCAA coach cannot talk about people who are not already on the campus.
Well, forget that. I asked that question to them.
Well, I will say something real quick.
Hypothetical.
Well, I'll say something real quick that we alluded to last week that has been eating at me, but I've been quiet about is AP.
Pearson.
Yeah.
I give it to
Cooking.
He did. He had a good game.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure. I just had to throw that out there, Coach.
I didn't front.
Cooking.
I just had to throw that out there.
He had more yards in that one game
Then he had the whole season.
Yeah.
On less carries.
It still shows he still got it. Mm-hmm. And he don't got
He never lost. He never lost it.
He
That
running
wasn't
better
the
than some of
problem.
the younger backs that's in the league right now.
Well,
My opinion is about like yours. All I know how to do is make people go around the circle and get back first.
Jonathan Stewart. Pay attention.
So when you use initials on a guy, I'm totally lost.
Coach, who you got on the basketball games tonight? For the Cavs, Celtics, and Golden State, Houston. Who you got?
Hey, look, Cavs, are they on the same station that...
they on TNT right now.
TNT right now.
Right now, it's 48-30 Cleveland over Boston right now. Right now, LeBron has 12 points. And
the blind...
Yeah,
you want a blind person to pick that one?
No.
Wow. I'm not picking because Hayward went down.
LeBron James gonna win whatever first game of the season, probably the first 12 this year.
Yep.
The schedule always gonna be set for people, the winning teams, to have an easier route to having.
Hey, Coach, let me wrap it up right quick. We got Robbie, Chris, Opie, Jermaine on the table.
Yeah.
And me,
Sexy chocolate.
next
Chappy lips.
See you next Tuesday.
Take care,
Only
Coach.
you can
I
be
have
forest fires.
See you next week.
Oh Lord!
All right, Coach Fry.
Hey. We need some feminine voices in here because it's right.
Chappy,
Kristen's not here.
Kristen
No showed, wouldn't answer her phone.
Hey, chappy lips.
But she hopefully she'll be back.
Away from this microphone before you get electrocuted.
Hey, Coach Fry. Hey, so just like we talked about last week, all right? You go ahead and cut the stream. Everybody on Facebook Live, we'll see y'all next Tuesday.
Thank y'all.
Hey, Coach Fry, so just like we talked about last week.
Did you send a text?
No, I did not send a text. Can you receive a text while we're on the phone?
Yeah.
Right. I feel you send you a script the way you say, and then I need to say it on our radio show. All right.
Goku.
All right. No, not tonight. No.